Hi everybody, how are you? It is C from Living a Frugal Life. Happy Saturday. I am just finishing up my coffee from breakfast. Had a lovely French vanilla coffee. So Bar and I are not long after standing up from this table and having our breakfast together. We decided we'd take a stolen moment this morning and do a little bit of cooking and just planning out our day. And are you ready? There's 98 days left in 2021. So we had a bit of a nice breakfast together and we also had a budget meeting, which we both really enjoy. Food, finances and budget just make us happy. So this morning's breakfast consisted of 90% leftovers that were hanging out in the fridge. From our week of cooking the Smithfield ham. The ham is all gone. It was the last pieces were devoured last night. We had a nice little family meal and game night and watched a movie last night, and so the ham's gone. But all the extra components, like we had a baked potato that wasn't eaten, there was black beans, red onions, tomatoes, some scallions, were just hanging out in the fridge, little bits and bobs. So I compiled all of those, and made a really nice breakfast for Bar and I. And so I'll be sharing that video with you in a minute. But I also want to talk to you about something that is important to me as a consumer, right? So practicing zero food waste is super, super important to me. I know you're going to go, here she goes again. I'm talking about zero food waste, but zero food waste is not only saving you money and resources and saving your finances and making your dollars or your currency wherever you're, whether you're on pounds, euros, or sterling or dollars, you're stretching them by using everything else, every little bit up. And also the second part of that is you're saving our planet and the landfill. And food insecurity is at an all-time high. It's higher than it was at the Great Recession. And we've come so far, but yet we have come very little. And so in this house, when I am cooking and feeding my family and buying the groceries, I am very intentional about the meal plan that I am compiling. And sometimes I'm doing it on the fly in my head. I open the fridge and go, okay, we have this. What can we use up to accommodate that to make a meal? And it takes that type of mindset to be flowing and keeping. But I want to give you this tip. If you have something in your fridge and you are not going to eat it, and it is good enough, not just like little itty bitty little things, but enough to make a meal, like maybe it's the protein or maybe it's the veg part or the carb, and it's hanging out in your fridge and you're not going to consume it because life just gets in the way. Open the fridge up, take it, put it in a container and put it in the freezer. Use your freezer like a pantry. And then if you have items that let's just say you have some chicken left over, you cooked a rotisserie chicken and you have some chicken left over in your fridge. And in the back, there's something else. Maybe there's some carrots or whatever, and they're already cooked. Get a large Ziploc bag and put those items together in a bag. Right? So you'll have your chicken in a container and your vegetable in a container, put them in a Ziploc bag, and on the outside of the bag, write meal in progress. And so the next time there's going to be mashed potatoes or rice left over, compile that and put that into a container and put that into the Ziploc bag. Now you have a meal for one sitting out in your freezer, and you can compile all that up. And somebody can have dinner, and they can have, like, we do that about once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks, and we call it Smorgasburg night. I might have said that word wrong, but my kids go crazy because one of them might be eating shepherd's pie, One of them might be eating fish and broccoli. One of them might be like, I don't know, having breakfast for dinner, because I make that, you know, in our freezer. And then if there's soup, I'm in heaven because I love soup. And that is about practicing zero food waste. I get asked all the time, see, how do you get your kids to eat leftovers? Well, the secret is, don't give them the same meal that they didn't want to eat in the first place because they didn't like it as leftovers another time, because they are not going to consume it. Give your children healthy food that you know they'll eat. Not me, not, you know, them over there, but what you know your child will eat, and they will get the nutrition from it, okay? Cook food that your family will eat, basically. And then when there is leftovers, your family is going to enjoy them, because they're like, oh, you know, mom or dad made this and I really enjoyed that. So the next time I see it, I'm going to go, oh, I remember that. That was delicious. Hey, I want some of that. And we have nights like that in my house where I'll say to my oldest son, can you go out to the garage, take out 4 meals and bring them out? And they'll be different. And there'll kind of be a little bit of a, you know, like I want it scenario coming from both my boys. And that's a good thing, right? And what else we're teaching them, which I share all the time over on my Instagram page, is that your children, right, like just like my children, who are teenagers, by the way, are witnessing, living, and experiencing being frugal, right? They're witnessing that it's not a good idea to throw your money down the drain or into the trash, that it's a good idea to put it in the freezer and use it as a pantry. They're witnessing that it is okay not to eat the same meal and have everything matching, but we have a nutritious meal in front of us. And they are life skills that are huge, absolutely huge, to pass on to your children. And as our world is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm not talking about our world's growing, I'm talking about our people are moving and emigrating and migrating and everything. What's missing in that whole scenario is the generational knowledge, where your granny would say to you, don't waste that, somebody else will eat it, put it in the fridge. When you were a kid, you remember that? And that was passed on. Homes nowadays, we really don't hear that. You don't hear people saying, you know, don't waste the money, watch your pennies will look after your pounds. All the little tips that were passed down, they're kind of gone by the wayside. And with that, so has the food insecurity has grown. While knowledge is going down, food insecurity around the world is going up. And I personally believe there's a direct correlation between the two. You know, I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. And it's sad. So I'm using up all the leftovers we have for the week. We had one potato that was cooked, some black beans, red onions. I have some eggs and some spices, and I'm going to make a delicious breakfast for Bar and I. This morning, got orange juice and a nice cup of coffee, and we're going to sit outside. It's cooler this morning, and just relax and regroup from a long, hard week. I know everybody's weeks are hard and long, so remember, take the time to decompress, regroup, and process what you have been going through this week, so that you can have a time to practice self-care. And I'm looking forward to my delicious breakfast this morning. I'm looking forward to the quality time with Bar, just having a nice deep conversation. Our boys are still asleep in bed. I'm actually going to be going over the there's 98 days left in the year of 2021, and I am going to be doing the budget for the next few paychecks. We have 7 paychecks remaining in the year, and we're going to be talking about our sinking funds. We fill our sinking funds in advance with our funds from the third paycheck in October. So we're going to be mapping out what we'll be doing and how we'll be doing it. So I'll be bringing that to you early next week, so you can see where our financials are going for the month of October on. Going to use up the leftover. So there you have it, all of the vegetables, potatoes, black beans, red onion, scallions, is cooked, and I'm going to put it in a bowl off to the side while I fry up the eggs. I added a knob of butter to the pan for the eggs. The eggs are cooking away, and we had a piece of a loaf left. Really, it was kind of very dry. I don't have time to put it in the oven and do all that. So I just cut off 2 little pieces, and I buttered both sides. So I'm going to just make a little crispy toast. I turned that one too soon. I'm going to pop it back so we can do a little bit longer. And I'm about to turn the eggs. And then I have the hash over here already made, and I pulled out some strawberries. So we have 4 strawberries left. So nice little breakfast this morning. And there you have it, a beautiful, healthy breakfast by just adding eggs and using up what was left over in the fridge. Practicing zero food waste is vitally important to your financial health.